There are three different filters you can use for data editing. Now, in this demonstration, I've already loaded some raw GRA data from U1338. Let's take a quick look. You can see it's pretty messy looking. And I've also loaded the COD data editing functions as described in the setup video for data editing. So, first thing I like to do is have a quick look at all the data. So if we go to COD data, plotting, and we say data multiplot, and here we've got A, B, and C, GRA. The data is GRA. We're using CSFA. There is no CCSF. The x-axis name is depth. It is new. We're not going to leave room for spliced, and we want multi-axis as opposed to all on the same axis. And there we go. Okay, pretty ugly. So what I want to do first is we're going to remove any points that were measured within the first or last 2.5 centimeters of each section. So we're going to get rid of all the little errors that happen at the section ends. So we go up to COD data editing, remove section end data. We want the data folder for 1338 GRA. And we're only looking at interval waves here because those are the ones that tell us how far from the end of a section we are. So we'll go with A, and we will continue. Okay, so we've gotten rid of a lot of those bad points. Now we can go down to our command line and change to B. And then we can change to C. Okay, now when we do any of these filters on data, we record that operation on a wave note. And if you go down here to the bottom of the information panel, you'll see there's remove section end data. Okay, so remove section end data does not create a despiked wave. The other two do, and I'm going to show you how those work in a moment. Actually, right now. Okay, so we ran the first one and we got rid of all those little spikes at the ends of sections. The second filter, go to data editing, is called auto edit. Basically with auto edit we're just going to get rid of everything greater than or less than a certain value. And the thing to remember is not all data have relatively constant values. That is, something like GRA will increase from the top of a hole to the bottom. So it's sometimes you just can't use definite limits for an entire data stream. Anyway, we'll use this a little bit. 1338A, the data type we want is GRA. Technique is GRA. Oops. And we know from experience that anything less than 1.1 is bad data. Water is 1.0. And we can just look at this the graph that we just made. You can see that 2 is pretty much the highest, so we'll remove points greater than 2. And we continue. Now, you didn't see any change here, and that's because we didn't actually change the data wave. What we did was we formed a despike wave. And you can see it over here. There's the one for A. Now, the next thing we want to do is compare the D-spike wave to the original. And in order to do that, we go to data editing, and we say append D-spike wave. It's 1338 GRGA, that's the depth axis, and we want to add it to the GRA axis. And there we go. So now you can see all of the points that have been filtered out are in red. Now, this sometimes is a little easier to look at if we expand things a bit. Okay, here we go. Now, so here's the D-spike wave. And if we're happy with it, and this one we're more or less happy with, we can go up to data editing and say save raw and D-spike. 1338 GRA, CSFA, and continue. So we're going to rename GRA as GRA raw, and we're going to rename the D-spike as GRA. And we're going to save the raw data in a separate folder. So let's do that. And if we go down to the bottom of our data browser and look in extras, you'll see we have now 1338 GRA raw data. And all it's saved is the depth and the data itself. But later on, if you eliminate some data and you think you made a mistake, you can always go back and take a look at the raw data to sort of check your work. Okay, so that's that. And finally, well, let's okay, let's do this. Now we still have some spikes. Maybe go back to this. We still do have a bunch of spikes here. So we'll use our third filter now, and that is the median D-spike. So this is going to go through the data. We'll start out with GRA. And it's going to look at 30-point intervals, and then it's going to take any point that is greater than one standard deviation of the entire data set. It'll take any point that's greater than one standard deviation. In this case, we selected one. And it will set it to the median value of that 30-point interval. So we'll do that. Now we've created a D-spike again. Second D-spike wave right there. And we can append that guy. And the stuff doesn't change. And there we go. Now you can see the ones that have been taken out by the median. That's basically it for the filters. Let's see if there's anything that makes the spike. Oh yeah, okay, so now we made a new D-spike and we want to save that one. If we go back up to COD data and we save raw and D-spike, again, same thing. Now you'll notice it doesn't say anything about copying the raw data into the separate folder, because the raw data are already there and these data are no longer raw. So we'll say yes, and all it's going to do is basically get rid of D-spike and rename it GRA. So there we go. So there's your GRA data. Now in a separate video I'm going to show you how to use the cursor stuff to get rid of some of these annoying little points. But let's go to GRA. Where are we? Okay, so here's GRA. I'm going to go to the comments section here, and I'm going to copy out those last two filters that we set, and I'm going to paste things here. And if we change this to B, and we change this to B, and we can go here to data editing, and we can append the D-spike wave. This is B, and we'll go to the B axis, and there we go, there's B. So we like that guy. We'll save him. It's B, rename, and there we go. And if we look at GRA, where's BGRA? Look at BGRA here. You can see we've got the remove section and the median D-spike. Oh. Anyway, that's it.